Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki here, and today I'm excited to share with you 10 things that I think that you really need to keep in your fire safe box. And if you don't have a fire safe box, you need to get one. I'm going to show you the perfect one to use and how to organize it. So let's jump right in. So friends, you know I love sharing tips on how to organize your home files and your home and all things organization. But today I'm really excited to focus on that fire box, that fire safe or fireproof box. And if you don't know what one is, you need to get one, number one. But it is that box that you have in your home where you keep all of those important documents in the event that your house catches on fire, which we hope that never happens, but this is a box that will safely hold those items during the fire. So the box that I have, I think it is up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The average house fire would be around 1,100 degrees, so it really is a good one to have. And so I'm going to take you through and show you the top 10 things to keep in there. So let's jump in. So friends, the first thing that you need to keep in your fireproof box is definitely your certificates. That birth certificate for you and the family, your marriage certificates, those important certificates, even your baptism certificates. It's important because you do not, if you have a fire, so much is going on, you don't want to have to go reapply for those things, try to locate them again, and that can just be a nightmare. So you definitely want to have a folder in your fireproof or fire safe box that you keep those items. The next thing that you want to keep in your fireproof box is the keys, spare keys to your cars. If you have spare keys to not necessarily the house, but if you have like a storage unit or anything like that, all of your spare keys I would definitely keep in that fire safe box. That is going to be a huge help in the event that you need to access those. Another thing that I recommend that you keep in your fire box is a SD card or a thumb drive or something that is a recording of your home. Something where you've walked through your home and you've just you have a tour of your home, of all the things in your home, all your inventory. I would even film your jewelry. And the beautiful thing about it, it's so much easier than having to log all of your valuables. In the event of a fire, you have everything showing what was in your home, and it's really simple to do. You can even do it with your phone. You can do it with your phone and then save it. Also save it on the cloud. You can save it on the cloud so that you have it, so that it's not even having to be in a box. But you want to definitely inventory your home in a video form so that you really have an all-inclusive list of your home inventory. And because you're doing video, you can talk through the value of anything that you need to talk through. And so that really can be helpful to keep in your box. Along with keeping a video card of all of your photos. I know that we have a lot of digital photos. You can keep a lot of photos digitally, but a lot of us have home photos that are from years and years back that you definitely want to keep a digital copy on file in case you need it. So definitely that's something that you can keep in your fireproof box, is a file of all of your family photos. So friends, the next thing that is important to keep in your fireproof box is your property insurance. You need those insurance forms because that is what you're going to be referencing right off the bat in case of a fire. So make sure that those are actually included in your firebox. The next thing is your wills and your power of attorneys. You definitely want to keep these in your fireproof box because you're going to definitely want to be able to access these and those not to get destroyed in the event of something happening in your home. Along with that, friends, I would say also your passports are definitely something that I would keep and maintain in my fireproof box. One, you always know where they're at, and two, they're always protected in the event of a house fire. So friends, another thing that I would keep in the fireproof box are those Social Security cards. This is a great place to keep those. They keep them safe. You will not have to go reapply for any in the event that something happens to your home, and I always recommend that this is the place for those types of items. And with that being said, also your credit cards. If you don't want to keep, you don't necessarily have to keep your actual credit cards on file. I would keep one credit card in your file box. That way, in the event of a house fire, you're grabbing that box. That's all you have is that box left. You're able to get a hotel, or if you need to get new clothes or anything due to the fire, you have one credit card that you can use, because your wallet may get burned up. You just don't know, but you always have that safety card there. I would keep copies of all of my other credit cards. I would copy the front and copy the back, because often you'll need that code off the back to use your credit cards. So copy the front of all your credit cards and debit cards in the back, and then keep copies of them in your fire safe box. But then remembering to always keep like one extra card, one actual card for you. So friends, another thing to keep in your fireproof box is actually your emergency contact information. A lot of times you don't want to depend on your phone, because you may not have your phone in the event of a fire. But if you have all of your emergency contacts or all of your contacts in a little notebook in your fireproof box, you'll have the numbers that you need. In this day and time, we're all very dependent on our phones. So everything is in our phone. So, it used to be a time where you had to know each other's telephone numbers, or you had to have a telephone book, which is, who even knows what a telephone book is anymore? But anyway, I say that to say, in the event that you do not have your phone, you still have all of the actual numbers of your family, emergency contact, friends, everybody you need to notify. Another thing that I think is important to keep in your fireproof box is all of your important health information. I wouldn't keep your entire health file in there if you don't feel like you need to. A lot of times you can have this on disk, and then I would keep that disk in there. But I definitely would keep my current prescriptions. You want to keep for the entire family the current prescriptions along with doctors' names, and have that on hand in the firebox, because that is going to be really important to have on you. And especially when you're talking to medics and people and you need to tell them what your prescriptions are, you'll have that on hand. Another thing that is important to keep in your fireproof box is cash, because in the event that something's happened, you got to think that box is your home. That's everything that you may have, unfortunately. And so by putting a little cash in there, you're giving yourself just a little fun to get by to the next day, or whatever the case may be. So definitely just put a little cash in there, store a little cash in there, and that can really be helpful. Now, another thing that I like to keep in my fireproof box is a password log with all of our passwords to everything, because you got to think, when you're in such a tragic situation like that, your mind is not in the right place, you're all over the place. But by having this well-organized box that really has all of your core things that you need to really get things back on track is really important. And so you may be not able to remember your passwords or figure it out. So having them written down in a password log really could be helpful for you. And helpful for you to be able to know everything that you have also, because in the event of a fire, you may not remember all of the different things that you have as far as business related home things. But if you have the password listed in there, it reminds you of who you need to call and notify of a variety of different things. So it can be really helpful in more than one way. And friends, on another thing, also think about keeping your car titles in your fireproof box, because again, any documents that are kind of original documents, deeds and titles and wills and things, those are the things that you want in your firebox, those key things. So definitely make sure that you add those in the firebox, along with your kids' shot records. I definitely recommend having any of those records in your firebox. So friends, I do want to share with you that this, in the past, when we talked fire safety box, you thought it was this heavy. It was, wasn't it? It was a really heavy box that was in the back of your closet that you couldn't lift up. And it was just almost a headache. Well, now, their technology, or I don't know what, has really made things so that they are easier. And so my fireproof box, as you can see, is very light. I got it off Amazon. I'll link it below. And like I said, up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit is what it can handle. And the average house fire, like I said, is 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit. So you really got a good box here. It also has a password protected lock on it. And it is lightweight, and that is huge, because in the event of the fire, you can just keep this box, somewhere handy under your bed or wherever you feel handy. But if you need to grab it and go, it's easy to grab. It's just lightweight, and so you don't have that big heavy box to lug around or to try to keep in your home. And so it was a great price, really durable. I also love this specific, and I'm not sponsored by any means, but why I love this specific box, not only because it's lightweight, that's the impressive thing for me, is not having the big heavy box, but also because they thought about the organization of it. So keeping your things organized. Usually when you look into the other boxes, they're just a big open heavy box and you just kind of throw everything in there. Whereas this box have different components and different compartments where you can organize a place for your passports, you can organize a place for your files. And you know what? That makes a huge difference when you are in the situation of having to access this box. And also it just keeps things orderly, and it makes sure you can easily identify that you have everything you need in the box. So friends, I hope that my tips were helpful on the things to keep in your fireproof box. And if you don't have one, please go down to the description box now, click and get your box today and get it set up. Even start with just getting those essentials in there, such as the passports, the IDs, all that stuff that you want to keep on file in there. You will not regret it. I hope that you're having a great day. I will see you at the next video. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.